Hey guys, oh, forget the messy hair. We are having I don't know if you can see this, but outside it's pretty calm right now, but it's just rainy and nasty, and we just haven't, we just have a hurricane passing through, so we're not really going anywhere other than across the street for a few minutes to take the kids to their orthodontics, which takes 5 minutes. You can see my poor face from my mask is just breaking out. Wearing them for 12 hours straight is just exhausting. So hair's up, we're still in jammies, and I have cranberries I have to use. So I was like, oh, I should get the camera out and show everybody. So in here we have doubled this. This is 3 pounds of cranberries and 3.5 cups of orange juice. Now, when you look at like a ball book or something, some of them say that to use water. I use orange juice as a natural sweetener. So, and I do put a little bit of sugar, but this just turns out really well. I make this cranberry sauce every year. This year I'm gonna can it because we love it so much. So I have this double batch, and then over here I've pre-measured, I don't have the orange juice in here, but this is also a double batch of just fresh cranberries. So we'll do 2 batches today. We're gonna wash and clean our jars. The girls are helping. And then in the crock pot, I have, see my little pot, cranberries have 4 chambers. I learned this off of A Country Life. They're cranberry farmers. Jennifer is just awesome if you want to see how cranberries come from and how they harvest them and stuff. It's really interesting. I watch it every year religiously. So anyway, so this we're gonna make, I'm gonna try cranberry juice, which this is multi-step. So I'm actually gonna do it in the crock pot. Yes, I know it needs to boil and it needs to do different things like that. So I gotta get it in the pot. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put it in the crock pot, and then at some point I do have to strain it. The crock pot, I don't know about y'all's, but mine gets high enough that it will it'll boil with water in there if you put it on high. And we'll just let them slowly burst open and get really hot and make a really nice juice. Then what you do is you come back and you strain the cranberries, and then you have to leave it overnight. So this will cook, this will cook all day. I'll let this simmer, and then later I'll strain it. I can dump it now. Later I'll strain it. Perfect. I think this will be much better. Later we'll strain all these out. We'll pulverize it and strain it and just leave the cranberry juice, and then let it sit overnight. We'll pull the juice off and then double strain it again to get any sediment out, and then we'll heat this but not boil it, and we'll can this. So I have some bigger jars. So I won't sweeten it. Sweetening is optional. I have some family members that like to do stevia. Some will do sugar, whatever they want. Some will do Splenda. So what I'll do is I'll just leave it unsweetened, and this is really the best thing that you can do, you know, to keep your kidneys flushed and kidney stones and UTIs. I'm not a doctor, but my mom has sworn by this for years, and we've always been big cranberry eaters. So I'll put this in the crock pot. We'll set this on high, and we'll just watch it, and tomorrow we'll end up canning this. But I'll show you what we do and how this turns out. Like I said, this is a learning curve for both of us because this is the first time I'm actually doing cranberry juice. So what we're doing now is I skipped a step. In here, I took my immersion blender and I want to use as much as possible. I don't like chunks of cranberry, but I also want as much pulp as I can get without it burning. So what I do is I emulsify it off the heat, and then I run it through a tammy. So it's nice and smooth, and I guess it's an extra step, but it doesn't bother me. And then, because what I do is I will, oh, this isn't gonna work in there. I need a big bag, I think. What I will do is save this, because my mom will put it in. Oh, I'm making a mess. Look at this. See this? My mom, or you know, you can cook or bake or add cranberries to everything. So I just put it through this tammy so that it's nice and smooth. And then I'll use, or my mom will use, the pulse for something. I might have to get a regular spoon because this is getting, so all I do is just take it through and get all of it out, and it's nice and smooth, but I don't have as much waste. This is a double batch of cranberry sauce. I know. I'm sure somebody's gonna tell me, but yes, I know that my spoon, I need, stay open? Yeah. I know somebody's gonna tell me, oh, your spoon is ruined. Those are real olive wood. So believe it or not, after a couple of washes, it will not be stained. I've done this multiple times with this. I have used them with my jams and my jellies, and I'm like, oh, it's stained, but it's fine, it works. And then a couple washes. This is my little scraper. Because I'm gonna make a mess, right? I get mad when kids make messes, but when we make them, it's okay because we're parents and we have to clean up the mess. So I will get all this out because I'm going to I use the bigger one because they're less thing. I have 2 of these pans. I use the bigger one for, oh, what's that? I'll just throw my next batch in here and put my orange juice when I'm ready to start this. Set this over here. And I'll use my smaller one of the cast iron pan. That's it. So now, I'll show you in just a second. Scrape all this off. Because this still has a lot of flavor, it's just not perfectly smooth. So if you put this in like a Ninja, and probably if you took it to an immersion blender too, it would be fine. So we're going to transport this back into another container. So we put it back in a smaller container because this isn't going to pop anymore. The other cranberries, because they have like 4 solid chambers, they do pop some. That's why I kind of keep a lid like just covering all but a little bit. So this is nice and smooth, just putting it through that tammy, which that's what I love. So this is a double batch, so I'm putting 4 cups of sugar. I know it seems like a lot. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this and heat this on medium high until the sugar dissolves and it gets to a gelling point of 220 degrees. So we have it on, you know, I gotta, don't look at my mess. And this'll. Now the big thing when you make anything that has sugar in it is that it's really easy to burn. So you have to kind of babysit this until you're ready to ladle it in jars. You can feel when the sugar starts to dissolve. So you can, I don't know if you can get close enough, but can you see see how liquidy too is? It just runs off. Your gelling point will actually almost kind of stick to the spoon, and when you stir it, you'll be able to make waves in it. But yeah, that's, you can see all the granules in the sugar. So all we're gonna do is we are going to let this dissolve in, stirring it very, very, very frequently, and waiting until it gets to that point. We've started our water bath canner. We have our water in it. We'll just let that get warm. So everybody does it different. Some people do like, they steam them, sanitize their jars in the dishwasher. Some have a steamer. I've always just got this really, really hot, not boiling, but just where it starts bubbling a little bit, water vapor, and it just, you know, gets very, very hot. And I'll put my jars in there and heat my jars and sanitize them without the lids on, and then I'll fill them and put them back in. So I've just always done it that way. It was a trick I learned watching another YouTuber do some canning when I was first learning how to do it. So that's how I've always done it. You gotta do what you feel comfortable doing. So we're going to get this boiling and we'll show you how it turns out. So I had to help the kids because it's kind of like a day in the life too. I feel like we're doing homeschool and I wasn't watching it and see how fast it burns. So I won't use this little bit of jelly because I don't want that burnt flavor in there. So we'll wash this out. So that's probably a half of a jar. So we just filled these. We have this little ladle. I wash it in between. And all you do is, if you've seen in the other videos, you spoon the hot jelly in. And then we washed our tops. And all you do is you're just gonna, ooh, it's warm. Tighten it until it's fingertip tight. And then I do put them in here. So it's not full because I didn't know how many it would make, but I don't really, you know, when I do pickles and I do other things, so even though this one's steamed, I did not use this one this time. You can stay over there. All right, so what we'll do is we'll put these in. So this double batch on this made 2 quarts, the bigger ones, like when we have family or whatever, we have 2 of those, and then we have 4 little ones. So it was about right. It said it would make 4 half pints, I'm sorry, 2 pint jars and then 4 half pint jars. So it said it would make 4, it made 4, and then you think 2, 4. So it was right on as far as that. So we will just bring this to a rapid boil, and when it's at a boil, we'll process it for, I think, I want to say it's 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, it's on high. 15 minutes, once it's a rolling boil, we'll do it, and we won't lift the top up. But we're doing another batch of cranberry sauce, so we'll show you how that goes. Again, as that one's cooking, because cranberry sauce is more of a process than even jellies because just of everything you're doing. So while this starts, we have our second batch here. We'll go ahead and dump orange juice in there. And when I said we leave the top on, I just kind of pop this like this, just so it doesn't get all over the place, and keep my spoon up there. So we're gonna put some orange juice in here and we'll start the second batch. This will probably be long done before this is even finished popping, but it's fine. We'll just keep this on and go from there. Hey guys, so we're back. So sorry about that. It turned into have to run an errand and the kids had to go to get their braces done. But so this is, let me just show you. So we made, out of those 2 double batches, we have 4 of these pints of cranberry sauce. I think this is a pint too. I just really like the jar. And then some little ones. So they've all popped already. And I had a, let me see if I can, I know. So look at my counter. We were in need for, like, this is leftover lunch dishes and we're baking something, and this is eggs and vanilla. But it turned out to have, I'm gonna use my finger, like a great, like, jelly consistency. I had a little bit left over and my husband's like, I wanna try it. So it really did well. And it tastes good. So, yeah. So as a bonus, we got baking with Maya today. Say hi, Maya. So this is, we're gonna do these pumpkin gooey bars. It's so wow, this thing. So this is what, 15 ounces of pumpkin, 8 ounces of cream cheese. Ooh, don't look at the dishes. And then all this is a box of yellow cake mix, and what else is in here? A stick of butter and 1 egg, and it makes like a crust. So this will go down, and then we're making a cream cheese mixture. We have 3 eggs in here and some vanilla. When it's Smooth. It looks pretty smooth. I would stop it and scrape the sides again. This is 3 eggs. I doubled the vanilla because it called for pumpkin pie extract and pumpkin pie spice, and I'm a firm believer in cooking with what you have, so I just put extra vanilla, and I'm not going to do the extract. Ooh, hair back. And then as a bonus, quick ideas, like, look, I still have jelly. You can tell I haven't bleached my kitchen down yet. This might look, this is a really quick dinner. So I have a bunch of meatballs that we had in the freezer, and they were frozen, and I took cream of mushroom soup, some broth, Lipton onion soup mix. I had a thing of what was that? Fresh mushrooms that I just sliced. And these meatballs were fully cooked, but they were frozen, and we had like a huge bag of them. So I'm like, oop, easy dinner. You know, the kids have been eating chili for a couple nights. And, oh, Worcestershire. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will say how to say it or put the pronunciation up. But just a quick dinner. Dinner can be homemade or semi-homemade without, you know, you don't have to sit there for hours. Even though we've been in the kitchen literally all day, we don't want to make a huge dinner. We want to make some dessert and kind of move on. So this is dinner tonight. We'll put that over pasta, and we're gonna finish up these cream cheese bars. So I wanted you to cook it into a 9 by 13 pan, and I don't have that. What I like to do when we have two is keep one and give one to the in-laws. So we're gonna bake these 30 to 40 minutes. That looks good, doesn't it? Okay. I know, I should have mitts on. So just to finish the day out, this is still, you can see it's still like a little tacky, but it's firm, but still real juicy. So these are the pumpkin cheesecake bars, and then it doesn't look very, the kids have already started requesting. So we just turned it into a yummy pasta with meatballs and mushrooms and a sauce, and good? Mm-hmm. You on camera eating? You don't want to smile? Found out we're getting our braces off today. So thanks for following us along a little bit today, and we hope you guys have a great day.